Ben, thank you so much for your time today and for speaking to CNBC.
Pleasure to be here.
I want to start off by asking you about, what are the conversations that you are having with your business clients in terms of that macro and commercial strategy given the current global environment?
So many clients are talking about economic rebalancing, the fact that growth in China has slowed, but the country is still a significant market and a fabulous opportunity for many corporates. At the same time, they're seeing opportunities in Southeast Asia and India as well, where growth, of course, remains very strong. Coupled with that, of course, many firms are looking to de-risk supply chains. That doesn't mean pulling supply out of China entirely, but adding to supply in Southeast Asia and India, just building resilience to prevent risks of supply chain disruption owing to geopolitical tension.
And what can we expect today from that keynote address with Zhao Jie? Do you think that we will be getting any kind of major announcement, or will that be reserved potentially for the third plenum, which we still obviously haven't got a date for?
We're likely to get more affirmation of policies we've heard over the past few weeks. Particularly around continued pursuit of industrialization and innovation in particular, especially when it comes to the green economy. Clean tech has been a big driver of growth. Given the number of foreign dignitaries here as well, we're expected to hear his commitment to welcoming foreign businesses, to seeking to preserve their role in the market and the role of market forces. And that should all be received very well by foreign CEOs.
Yeah, speaking of foreign CEOs, a lot of focus in the last few days in relation to China's push to get that foreign capital back into the country. We've obviously had that meeting with President Xi. I'm just wondering if you're hearing anything from your clients in terms of their views on this. Is there a sort of, better sentiment when it comes to investment in China, do you think, going forward?
I think the sentiment has improved over the last 12 months. I had a chance to join a roundtable last night with a large number of CEOs from around the world, and I think generally people were very positive. Again, recognition that the scale of the market here is significant, the speed of innovation is significant, and that for many of us, learning to compete here in China means that we'll be able to compete globally, especially in the clean tech sectors where China is naturally a pioneer.
And speaking of clean tech, and also noting some of the geopolitical tensions that certainly still exist between US and China. One concern that's been highlighted by the US Secretary General Janet Yellen is about overcapacity in China. Obviously, that's having an impact in terms of their domestic industries, like Longyi, for example. But that's also obviously a concern for countries that trade with China, right? So I guess, isn't that going to exacerbate tensions further and potentially draw countries away?
So overcapacity has been a long-standing problem for China, particularly in new economy sectors. It's a challenge for domestic businesses looking to make a profit, but as you say, it's also a challenge for global trade. So it's a problem we'll need to deal with. What we are, though, seeing are Chinese clean tech companies beginning to invest in manufacturing overseas, beginning to localize production, and that could be both in Europe or it could be in Saudi Arabia. It's a range of countries, and that's a new development. It's a positive development. The extent to which you localize production means that there'll obviously be support for that type of investment, but it also reduces trade friction. So we have a long way to go, but we're on the right path.